All right, so I just wanted to make a quick YouTube video on how to read level two. And, level two is something that's very hard to read, but once you have it down, it like doesn't leave you. It's like riding a bike. Anytime you hop on the train, you're going to feel the momentum, you're going to feel the market, and you're going to get a hang of it. And so here's what I've been doing really well recently reading the tape. And let's jump into the chart here. So we can see on the level two here where we're watching a breaking news stock, and this is a previous recording. And so let's get familiar with the chart first. Right now, we have a stock squeezing up on breaking news. And while it's squeezing up, we have a float of 337,000 shares, very low float, market cap of 2.8 million shares, very low. And we have breaking news coming out on the stock. And so what we're looking for is an extension through high a day and continuation. And so what's cool about this stock is that it's able to give a nice move up higher, but it's going to present opportunities for us to buy because we're getting in so early on the move. Now, you can take positions or use momentum in your favor and get in immediately once you see a stock. But the problem is that if you get in that habit, sometimes it can reject off that level and continue going lower. So it's not always a good habit to get into something that you see with news immediately while it's spiking up, because traders might not react to it, algos might stop, short sellers might push that stock back down. So the better play is to wait for a pullback and continuation going higher. So when we're reading level two, we can see a couple of things. You have the bid, you have the ask, and then the biggest thing that you can also see is the stock that you're trading, what exchange it's on, and how much percentage is up. Now, those are important because exchange, most of the stocks that we trade are NASDAQ listed stocks, but if they're Amex, a lot of people don't know this, but you actually can't see halt resumptions on certain brokers for Amex listed stocks. And so on the top right, you'll see circuit breaker, which means it's short sell restriction. And then also you'll see the leverage that you're able to use on the stock. And so this would be 100% leverage, meaning that you need to have 100% cash on the stock when you're trading it. You can't use margin accounts. So like, let's say if you're 2 times the leverage, you have 2 times the buying power. So if we get familiar with the level two, we can see that there's market makers, there's the price, and then the shares. And so the shares that are listed, now they can be hidden potentially. The shares that are listed, you'll see in the number 8. Now that represents 800. So you add 2 zeros. So at 377, you'll see 1,000 shares. So those are kind of like blocks of orders that you can see on the level two. And the level two is really the island where buyers and sellers come together to trade in an auction for a stock. And so the biggest thing that we see here is that, this is a very, very thin market, because we see 375, 377, then we see 380, and then $5 a share on the ask on bats. And so this is interesting because this can give a nice move up higher when we have support on an imbalanced trading side for this ATCH stocks. And so when we're trading this stock, we're looking for buyers to come in and step up. And so just watch this for a second, and you'll get familiar with how the stock moves, right? So breaking news comes out, I immediately type it in. You can watch me do it here. So a stock comes out with news. I'm watching it here. I pull it up on the chart. I pull it up on the level two, and then immediately it's up to 4. I watch, it breaks 4. It goes to 420. It goes to 423, and then pulls back for a second. And this is where it's kind of like a moment of truth. It's either going to sell off, hold up, and continue higher, or just stay at this level. Now, stocks normally don't just stay at this level. So it's probably going to do one of two things: either continue going up or come back down. And so the pattern that we're looking for when there's such great momentum in the market is you can pull out a couple cents per share pretty quick if you trade this right. We see it hit high of day at 422. It pops down to 411 on the ask. And I'm strictly watching the ask in green on the tape. I don't like red. I like green on the tape. So we see 11, we see 16, and then it's below 4 for a second, right? So what we know for these stocks is that they trade between half and whole dollars. And so that becomes support and resistance levels for later on. And so right now, if we can get above 4, that's potentially a support level that can ride momentum up through high a day of 422. So we're watching this right now. It gets above 4, but the bid isn't here yet. 408 by 401, bid has supported that level. So now it's 402 on the ask. Does it hold? Does it want to go? It's kind of hesitating at the minute. Some red coming through the tape right here. And it doesn't hold. It doesn't hold. It drops for a second. But this is the moment of truth because we're kind of straddling this area. You can kind of see how it goes to 408 and then it drops to 405, 407, and then immediately, not only does it reclaim 4 like that, but it dips below for just a second. And sometimes we can see that these stocks straddle that half and whole dollar. And if it can reclaim it, that's when buyers will step in, press the buy on green on the tape. So you can see 398, 399, 406, 405, 406. And so that can give a really nice extension up. So let's just watch this for a second. 406 straddles this, green on the tape coming through right here at 396, holds this level. Let's see if it can break above 410, 417. So just like that, we're watching this stock hesitate on this level. It's able to go below, break above, and then just curl and do a nice trade up through highs. So now we see 420. Kind of a dip here for a second. This is also another testing support level, right? So you see 411, you see 412. And so this is the place to buy because it's holding this level. So you're looking at it and then immediately up to 430. It's a fantastic trade. Up to 440. And then it even top ticked. I didn't see it though on the level 2 at 449, which is a $0.50 resistance level, right? So if this can hold this level right here, this might be good. So we're watching this level. We have green on the tape coming through right now. Let's see if this extends higher. Boom, back up to 430, right? So this is kind of where the high of day is. It's kind of flirting with it. Some selling coming through right now. It went all the way up to 436, which is a really nice move, and then we dip back down again. So we're looking for the next dip and continuation going higher. We see 422, 425. Now this could be a place to buy, but what is an indicator telling you that someone is selling shares? Now the biggest thing that I see is this large seller, which means that this large seller is 10,000 shares in the way from this stock moving up. Let's say if the seller was not here and you couldn't see it, then you would just see lots of green coming through the tape with no buying power, with no movement on the level 2. So all these orders at 25 would be here. This might show 100 shares on the ask, but really there's a 10,000 share seller because you can hide the orders. This visible column on your order entry, you can hide it. And so we can see this here, get eaten up for a second, but it drops back down to 24. So this is a sell indicator. I might have tried to buy this dip, but as soon as you see that seller come through, you have to get out. And you can potentially get out on a dip, but you need to now get a little bit more confirmation before you're taking a trade. Big seller on the ask there. A little bit of bounce here. Let's see if we can get it. So it bounces up to 1720, but remember that seller is still there. They didn't go away. So we're just waiting for a dip here, and what I would wait for is called a EMA touch. And so I would like to see the 9 EMA on the 10-second touch a red candle before I'm looking to buy the stock. So we're watching this as it dips below. That's a nice dip there, but it just hasn't touched that EMA level yet. Let's see if it touches here. And our stops are going to be really short. If it doesn't go in our direction immediately, it's not a good trade, right? So now we're kind of curling here, which is really nice to see. So remember we had previous resistance at this level. Did it get eaten up? It looks like a lot of shares went through. So that right there is 10,000 shares that just took that whole sell position away. Let's see if it breaks 25, 29, 30. And we want to see this squeeze through high a day. No seller has came through at all yet. You're kind of holding at this level. Let's see if it does. 1920, that's a support level here. Let's see if it holds. 1921, 21, 27, up to 34 again, right? So now we had previous resistance at this level also. Let's see if it breaks high a day. doesn't break high a day, selling coming through, and then immediately pops up. Now that order could have been a buy order or a shorts covering. And if that's shorts covering, this is going to soar through high a day. So we're looking to break through high a day here. Boom, immediately. So that big buy order allows traders to extend their orders and continue going up higher. So shorts are covering through this area, placing stops at high a day. And let's see if we have another dip here, right? So we see a little bit of a dip here, green on the tape. And the reverse coming all the way back up. So what is that dip level here, right? So we're kind of flirting with a resistance level, but that then becomes support. So we see it go up to 80, and then we see it pull back for a second. We see a little bit of a dip here, moment of hesitation, moment of truth, 54, 55. It's not failing, and then immediately curls back up. That's a perfect trade to get into for a dip entry. This is high a day right here. If this wants to break 83, 84, you're looking for a trade up through high a day. It didn't, unfortunately. Another dip trade coming through here. Let's see. 68. You want to see this get above 70. So that right there tells you, hey, this wants to go a little bit lower. Let me sell this position. Let me average into a lower cost basis for something nicer. So we're coming down again to support. Support right here. Let's see if it gets back above 70. 67, some resistance coming through. We have some green orders, but it's not breaking. So I would sell in this level. Comes back down. And then we see here a little bit of a dip down to the 9 EMA though. So this is support. So we're looking to buy off of 42 for the extension up higher over 50. Boom. Micro scalping at its finest. If this wants to continue going, we can add for the position with support at 50. You could potentially add here for the squeeze up to 70. Some resistance coming in here. I would start selling. And then boom. This is a nice trade. If you were able to get off this dip up the 9 EMA and then continue up going, that would have been 30, 35, 40 cents winner. This goes to 90. It goes to $5 a share right there. On the ask, we didn't quite see it, but we did see that on the level 2 the chart. And so that's how you read level 2. It's just waves of momentum coming in and out of the market, and you want to position yourself at the bottom of that level. And how you do that is by reading level 2. And so I hope this class helped. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll be there to help. So I appreciate you guys watching.